Good day to you. Welcome to the daily reading for Friday, the 2nd of October 2020. Knew that full moon was going to bring a bit of a bursting of something yesterday. What I want to know is, if I wear a mask, will it stop me from catching Schadenfreude? I will say no more. Right, 3-card Major Arcana reading. No reversals. Let's see what comes up today. Okay, I'm going to cut one more time. Well. The Hierophant. You Papa. The Pope. The head honcho of the spiritual hierarchy in the, honcho, not honchessa. That would be the high priestess. The high priest. He's not wearing a mask. Oh, another old man with a white beard. The Hermit. Okay. Well, old men moving from places of public authority into isolation. And temperance. Okay. Whatever this is, it's not a quick kind of upshot. The angel of temperance here, defying the laws of physics. Is that water going up or going down? Whatever it is, it's a closed circuit, and the all-important liquid is being poured from one vessel to another, while she stands slightly asymmetrically and yet beautifully poised. This is poise. This is balance, really balance within the self. This is not balance in the same way as justice is balance, or there's lots of dualities in the tarot. But when we get to card number 14, which is the end of the second third of the tarot cycle, we've come to the point where we've realised that whatever it is we're dealing with is internal. It's all coming from the inside. It's all coming from our own being, from our own mind, heart, and soul. So we get to a point where we just stop for a little while. It's like a sort of a beautiful version of the Hanged Man, in a way. The Hanged Man is also about suspension and stopping and sort of taking ourselves out of the game. But here we've kind of moved on from that sort of energy of sort of doing nothing, because we're actually doing something. We've mastered something, and we're enjoying the peace of actively moving the liquid of life, the water of life, from one vessel gently into another. And we're winged. How wonderful. If we want, we can just put it down, fly away. Nice. Okay, so let's have a look back at these two old dudes here. Right, let's look at the numbering. I mean, the High Priest, the Hierophant, comes after the high priestess, just as the emperor comes after the empress. So the tarot knows that the female comes first, basically. The female is what's happening really within the self. The male is what happens when we take what is happening within the self and kind of turn it into something and present it to the world. So the Hierophant is the kind of top-down politicization of the soul. Because the High Priestess is alone. But here, he has an audience, he has his acolytes, he has people kind of worshipping at his feet. And he's sitting there kind of ostensibly knowing everything. And I'd just like to draw your attention, this little dude down here in the corner, because I wonder, he's not praying at the feet of the Hierophant, who's clearly very comfy on that chair. He's looking off in some other direction. And I wonder whether he's wondering if there's something else going on. Basically, whether the Hierophant is everything that he's cracked up to be. And I mean, what happens, this is card number 5, so it's pretty early in the cycle. And what happens through the tarot cycle is that basically change after change, it's the oracle of change. Change after change, different natures of change, choice after choice is presented to us. So, there's this sort of sense of establishment here. But clearly, as it's so early in the cycle, and there's a long way to go before we get to the world at the end of the cycle and close it off to begin another cycle. A long way to go. And I think Matey down there at the bottom has got his eye on what's coming next. And in this reading, that leads on to the isolation of the hermit. Now, I wonder whether what's happened in this cycle, in this particular reading, is that the Hierophant has kind of been knocked off his position of authority, spiritual authority. Because it always gets messy when you take the spiritual and try and turn it into something temporal and worldly, doesn't it? It always gets messy, always gets political. And for one reason or another, the old man with the white beard sitting on that papal throne is now alone with nothing but a stick. And look, this very authoritative looking staff here, probably gold, and I've got my glasses on, encrusted with jewels, has become a stick. And the headgear that the Hierophant was wearing is no longer in evidence. It's not a come down, it's not a knocking off the throne. Ha ha ha, now you're just a wandering strange old man on the fringes of the village, having rotten apples thrown at you by naughty children. There's more to it than that. This is a going inside of that sense of spiritual authority. It's easy to lord it over other people, as we see in the Hierophant card. But what about when you're alone? What about when you're falling asleep? What about when you're dreaming? What about what's in your mind when you wake up? Or in those quiet bardo moments, as the Tibetan Buddhists call it, the bardos, when you're not actually engaged in anything. And take your foot off the clutch and you're in neutral. What happens then? That's what this is about. And whatever's going to come out of this, as I say, won't be hasty. it won't be hasty. It's a time to weigh up both sides, but not weigh up. Keep it contained. Whatever it is contained, and it's not splashing in from the outside and splashing off to the outside. It's within those cups, and it's poised, and it's balanced, and it's quiet, and it's contemplative, and it's meditative. So if you have a contemplative, meditative practice, always best to keep it up day in, day out, as we see here. You know, this didn't come quickly. This poise did not come quickly. So, what we have here is a movement from public authority to private solitariness, and it's going to be like that for a while. This is a daily reading, so let's just wait and see what happens. Thank you for watching. Namaste.